5 million people lived in sprawling, meticulously planned megacities equipped with complex plumbing systems. They built an empire larger than Egypt and Mesopotamia combined, and did it without leaving behind a single weapon of war. Then, they completely vanished. For thousands of years, this massive society was erased from human memory. It wasn't until the 1850s, when engineers laying tracks for the East Indian Railway Company in modern-day Pakistan stumbled across massive mounds of perfectly uniform, fired red bricks. Assuming they had merely found an old abandoned fort, the workers looted millions of these bricks to build the railway bed. They had no idea they were actually tearing through the upper layers of an ancient metropolis. It took until the 1920s for archaeologists to finally dig deeper and grasp the true scale of what lay beneath the dirt. They uncovered the vast ruins of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, cities that belonged to a single, connected empire spanning over 1 million square kilometers. This accidental find revealed the largest ancient civilization on Earth, opening an archaeological cold case that remains unsolved to this day. While pharaohs in Egypt used slave labor to build tombs, and Mesopotamian kings waged constant wars to expand their borders, the Harappans dedicated their resources to public infrastructure. Their cities followed a mathematically precise grid, strictly aligned to the cardinal directions of north, south, east, and west. Beneath the surface, almost every home featured a private flushing toilet connected to an underground sewer system. They prioritized public health, constructing massive facilities like the Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, a brick pool sealed with natural tar to make it perfectly waterproof. To manage their global trade network, they developed a complex written language. We have recovered thousands of these soapstone seals, but despite decades of effort, no linguistic mind or supercomputer has been able to decode the script. Yet, the most striking part of the Indus Valley is what is missing. After more than a century of excavation, archaeologists have found zero evidence of swords, shields, armor, or a standing army. We are left with 5 million highly organized, peaceful people who somehow disappeared entirely from the historical record. Around 1900 BCE, the maintenance of their intricate drainage system stopped. Their standardized weights and writing vanished. The population packed up their belongings, walked away from their homes, and left the cities to fill with dust. When you examine the soil layers, there is a distinct absence of ash or burn marks. Whatever drove them out, it was not a sudden fire, a meteor strike, or a city-wide razing by an enemy. For decades, the leading explanation was a violent invasion by nomadic warriors known as the Aryans, a theory supported by the discovery of scattered human skeletons left directly in the streets of Mohenjo-Daro. Modern forensic science has dismantled that narrative. Analysis proved those bodies were buried during different time periods, and an examination of the bones revealed no signs of weapon trauma. There was no slaughter in the streets. The invasion theory has been rejected, proving that the society suffered a silent, systemic collapse from within. The Harappans relied on predictable monsoon rains and the steady flow of the region's rivers to feed their massive population. Geological data reveals that around 4,000 years ago, tectonic plates in the Himalayas shifted, causing severe earthquakes that altered the course of the Ghaggar-Hakra river system, their primary water source, reducing it to a dry, barren trench. The loss of the river triggered a chain reaction. Crops withered, and the mega-cities could no longer feed their dense populations, leading to widespread starvation. As the food supply vanished and the sanitation systems fell into disrepair, these heavily populated urban centers became breeding grounds for disease. DNA analysis of remains from the area confirms that illnesses like cholera and malaria swept through the weakened populace. The survivors abandoned their ancestral homes and migrated east toward the Ganges basin. The evidence suggests that a combination of a shifting earth and biological decay finally broke the systems of the ancient superplanners. The Indus people did not go extinct. Their agricultural techniques, their bloodlines, and echoes of their culture remain embedded in the DNA and daily lives of billions of people across South Asia today. At the height of their power, possessing technology that wouldn't be matched for millennia, they likely believed their perfectly engineered society was permanent. Our modern megacities operate on the same reliance on delicate environmental conditions and complex supply chains that once sustained the Indus Valley. It forces us to ask, are we actually immune to the physical limits of the Earth? Or will future archaeologists be digging up the silent ruins of our cities 4,000 years from now? Do you think climate change is the full story, or is there another piece of evidence waiting to be unearthed? Let me know your theories in the comments, and hit that subscribe button to keep investigating history's mysteries with me.